They weren't supposed to be here. Not in the playoff picture. Not in the top 3 of the West. And definitely not on anyone's list of championship contenders. A few months ago, the Los Angeles Lakers were broken. Injuries, no chemistry, questionable coaching, and a Western Conference that looked too deep, too fast, too young. But now they're peaking at the perfect time. This isn't just a team that survived. This is a team that flipped the script. And as we inch closer to the playoffs, the Lakers are officially the team no one wants to face. The start of the Lakers season was anything but promising. From the jump, this team didn't look like a contender. In fact, they barely looked like a functioning unit. Injuries were piling up. The chemistry was completely off. And while the rest of the Western Conference was getting younger, faster, and deeper, the Lakers looked slow, disconnected, and at times, lost. LeBron James, even at 39 years old, was doing everything he could to keep the team afloat. Night in and night out, he was delivering all NBA numbers. But you could see the toll it was taking. The frustration on the bench, the body language, the exhaustion after every blown lead. He was carrying a team that didn't seem ready to be carried. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis, arguably the most important piece of this team's success, was in and out of the lineup. When he was on the floor, his impact fluctuated. One night, he looked like the most dominant big in the league. The next, he disappeared in the fourth quarter. Health has always been his biggest question mark, but now people were asking if his inconsistency was just as big of a concern. Was he still the player you could build a postseason run around? Through the first 30 games of the season, the Lakers had just 13 wins. They were below 500 and floating near the bottom of the play-in race. Every sign pointed to a team that had already peaked last year. A team whose window had slammed shut. And the problems weren't just physical, they were cultural. The locker room didn't look united. Darvin Ham's rotations were under fire. Austin Reeves looked out of rhythm. D'Angelo Russell was ice cold. Rui Hachimura couldn't find a consistent role. The defense lacked identity. The offense lacked rhythm. And nobody knew who the third option was, or if they even had one. Outside the team, the noise got loud, really loud. Trade rumors picked up. National media started ripping the roster. Fans on Twitter called for Ham's firing. People questioned if LeBron should request a trade. Some even wondered if it was time to shut him down for the rest of the year and look to the future. But through all of it, through the chaos, the injuries, the doubt, something quietly started to shift. The Lakers didn't fold, they didn't implode, and they didn't tune each other out. Behind the scenes, they were still building something. It didn't look pretty, but it was brewing. All they needed was a spark, and once they found it, everything changed. Every comeback has a moment, something small at first, something only insiders notice. For the Lakers, it wasn't a blockbuster trade or a miracle win. The turnaround started quietly. It began with subtle adjustments, internal accountability, and a team that decided collectively to stop making excuses. It started with Darvin Ham tightening the rotations and finally leaning into lineups that made sense. The defensive effort picked up, the communication improved, and the stars, LeBron and AD, set the tone by playing like every game mattered. Anthony Davis, in particular, flipped a switch. He started playing with urgency, confidence, and consistency. He was diving for loose balls, anchoring the paint, and re-establishing himself as one of the league's premier two-way forces. Games where he had 30 points and 15 rebounds weren't rare. They were expected. He finally looked like the guy who carried them in the bubble. And when he locked in defensively, the entire team followed. LeBron, as always, remained the constant. But what made this stretch different was how he trusted the players around him more. Instead of overexerting himself every night, he picked his moments. He let the offense breathe. He empowered guys like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura to find their rhythm. And when it came time to close, LeBron still had that killer instinct, driving to the rim, hitting clutch threes, making the right pass under pressure. It was also around this time that the team began to build real chemistry. The ball started moving more. Players bought into their roles. Austin Reeves embraced being a secondary playmaker. D'Lo started hitting his shots with confidence. Rui began punishing mismatches in the post. Suddenly, the Lakers didn't just look better, they looked connected. For the first time all season, they were playing for each other, not just with each other. Defensively, the team tightened up dramatically. The rotations became sharper. The help side contests were on time. They started switching smarter, communicating more clearly, and closing games with energy instead of panic. The fourth quarters went from being collapse zones to control zones. They were making the stops they hadn't earlier in the season. And they were finally winning the close ones. Since the All-Star break, the Lakers have been one of the best teams in the West by record and net rating. They're not just winning games. They're winning the right way. Tough, gritty, team-first basketball. They're beating teams they're supposed to beat and hanging with the elite. The metrics back it up, but more importantly, the eye test backs it up. This is a team that knows exactly who they are. And maybe the most dangerous thing about them right now? They're getting hot at the perfect time. With the playoffs looming, the Lakers aren't just climbing the standings, they're building real momentum. This is no longer a team trying to stay afloat. This is a team that believes it can win everything. For most of the season, the Lakers were seen as a top-heavy team, built around LeBron and AD and not much else. But what we're seeing now is something entirely different. This isn't just a duo trying to carry a flawed roster. This is a deep, versatile squad where every player knows their role, and more importantly, delivers in it. Austin Reeves has quietly become one of the most reliable guards in the league. He's not just hitting open shots, he's creating off the dribble, making smart reads, and drawing fouls like a seasoned vet. His basketball IQ, patience, and ability to step into the spotlight when needed has made him a go-to option in crunch time. He's no longer a feel-good story, he's a legit piece of the Lakers' core. Then there's D'Angelo Russell. Early in the season, he was inconsistent and hesitant. But now, he's shooting the ball with confidence, spacing the floor, and making defenses pay for collapsing on LeBron and AD. He's embraced his role as a spot-up shooter and occasional facilitator, and when he's on, the Lakers' offense flows like a top-tier unit. He's not trying to do too much, he's doing just enough and doing it efficiently. Rui Hachimura might be the most underrated piece of this turnaround. He's embraced his physicality, punishing smaller defenders in the post and crashing the glass. His mid-range jumper has become a reliable weapon, and he's finishing at the rim with confidence. But more importantly, he's finally being used in ways that highlight his strengths. When he plays with force, he gives the Lakers a dimension that few benches can match. And we haven't even talked about the defense yet. Jared Vanderbilt, when healthy, gives them elite perimeter disruption. Gabe Vincent's return has provided a spark of energy and on-ball pressure that was missing earlier in the season. Even guys like Taurean Prince and Max Christie have had stretches where they stepped up defensively or hit big shots in key moments. What makes this depth so valuable isn't just that these players exist, it's that they fit. They fit around LeBron and AD. They play off of them. They cover for their weaknesses. They buy into their roles. And when the rotations tighten in the playoffs, this depth gives Darvin Ham options, not just bodies. This team can go small and switch everything. They can go big and dominate the boards. They can speed the game up or slow it down. And because their bench is contributing night after night, it's no longer about waiting for LeBron to save them in the fourth. They're getting leads. They're holding leads. And they're winning as a team. Depth was once the Lakers' weakness. Now, it might be the biggest reason no one wants to play them in a 7-game series. So, why don't teams want to see the Lakers in the first round? Because deep down, everyone remembers what happened last year. The 7th seed Lakers took down the 2nd seed Grizzlies, then eliminated Steph and the defending champs. They didn't lose steam until they ran into Denver, who eventually won the title. And this year, they're better, healthier, more cohesive. And LeBron, still on a mission, still defying time, still chasing ring number 5. Put it this way, if you're the top seed in the West, you're praying someone else gets them first. The Western Conference is stacked. Jokic, Luka, Shea, KD, Steph. But the Lakers? They've been through the fire. They've learned how to win ugly, and they're heating up at the perfect time. So what do you think? Are the Lakers a legit threat to win it all? Or are they one hot streak away from another heartbreak? Drop your takes in the comments, and buy the hoop. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because playoff basketball is about to get real.